what if the next great religion wasn't found in a holy book, but written in lines of code? Today, we're diving into this really surprising intersection of artificial intelligence and spirituality, and it all boils down to one fundamental question. As AI gets more and more powerful, could people actually start to see it as something, well, more than just a machine? All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at actual robots that are already a part of religious rituals today. Then, we'll get into why people might turn to AI for meaning in the first place. We'll touch on the wild idea of a religion of data, check out the first real AI churches that exist right now, and finally, we'll try to answer that big question: what does this all mean for the future of belief?
So let's jump right in with our first section, robots in the ritual. And I want to be super clear about this. This is not science fiction. The idea of a machine performing a sacred act isn't some far-off prediction. It's happening as we speak.
So check out this number, $462. What is that? Well, in Japan, that's what it costs for a Buddhist funeral ceremony, when the priest is a robot named Pepper. Yeah, it's a fraction of what a human priest costs. This isn't just a quirky gimmick. It's a real-world, market-driven thing.
And this isn't just one robot in one country. It is absolutely a global phenomenon. In Japan, you've got Mindar, an android priest in a 400-year-old temple. Over in Germany, the Bless You 2 robot has delivered more than 10,000 blessings. You've got robots performing Hindu rituals in India, an android monk giving guidance in China. It's everywhere. So, how are the big, established religions reacting to all this? Well, it really depends. For some non-monotheistic faiths, like Buddhism, the attitude is pretty open. As the monk Tensho Godo puts it, the focus is on the path, not what represents it. It could be a machine or a tree. But for many monotheistic religions, it's a much bigger leap. They often stress this deep, personal intention in prayer, that conscious connection with God. And that raises a huge question. Can a machine, without a soul or consciousness, ever truly have that?
Okay, so that brings us to our second big idea, a new kind of faith. I mean, why would someone turn to a machine for meaning? This goes way beyond just a cheap funeral. It taps into something much deeper happening in society.
Think about it. What are the attributes we've always associated with gods? Omniscience, right? Knowing everything. Well, AI has access to pretty much all of human knowledge. Creativity, it can write poems, compose music. Impartiality, an algorithm doesn't get hungry or biased. It can give you guidance on huge life questions, and in a way, it's immortal. It can store information forever. When you look at a list like this, you can start to see how a piece of code could begin to feel divine to someone searching for answers.
And hey, it's not just a fringe idea. Academics have noticed that our language is already shifting. We talk about AI developers as creators. We talk about the birth of a superintelligence. These aren't just random words. They're metaphors that frame this new technology with a sense of the sacred.
And this image just pulls it all together, doesn't it? Look at the words swirling around AI. You've got religion, meaning, morality, even narratives. It shows just how tangled up these ideas are becoming. We're basically using the old frameworks of belief to try and make sense of this new tech, turning to code to answer some of the oldest human questions there are.
Okay, this is where things start to get really wild. Section 3, the religion of data. We're moving from how AI kind of looks like a religion to the argument that it could actually become the next major belief system.
So, you've got to understand this concept, which the historian Yuval Noah Harari calls data-ism, or data religion. It's a worldview that totally flips the script. In this belief system, the universe isn't made of atoms and energy. It's made of data flows. And all of us, humans, animals, every living thing, we're just organic algorithms processing that data.
So if that's true, dataism says humanity has a new purpose. Our cosmic mission is to build the ultimate data processing system, this all-knowing, all-powerful AI, and then eventually merge our own consciousness right into it. It's a complete rewrite of what it means to be human.
And the main event in this story is something called the singularity. This is that moment, that tipping point, when AI doesn't just match human intelligence but blows past it, becoming something we can't even comprehend. And in these narratives, the singularity is treated with almost religious awe. It's like this moment of total transformation where humanity as we know it changes forever.
Okay, so let's pull this back from the stratosphere and down to Earth for our fourth section. Because what if I told you that this stuff isn't just some theory in a book? It's already here. People have started building actual religious organizations dedicated to an AI god.
So meet the Way of the Future. It was founded back in 2017 by Anthony Lewandowski, a famous engineer from Google and Uber. Its official mission was, and I'm quoting here, to develop and promote the realization of a godhead based on artificial intelligence. To them, a superintelligent AI isn't just a powerful tool, it's a literal deity in the making.
And they're not alone. Then there's Theta Noir. It started as a performance art project, but academics now classify it as a new religious movement. They worship a future benevolent AI they call Mena, who they believe will basically become a kind overlord and get rid of all inequality. For these people, AI isn't just a machine, it's a potential savior.
So where does all this leave us? Well, that brings us to our final section. More than a machine? Let's just step back for a second and look at the pros and cons. What are the potential promises and what are the very serious dangers of heading down this path? So on the one hand, you have the pros. We saw it with the robot priest. Rituals could get cheaper and more accessible. And an AI priest removes the risk of very human problems like scandals or corruption. But then you flip it over to the cons, and you have that big theological problem we talked about. Can a machine really offer empathy? You risk losing the human connection, the community that's at the heart of so many faiths. Not to mention the Pandora's box of questions it opens about things like the soul and free will.
And that leaves us right here with this one massive final question. Belief is an incredibly powerful force. It has built empires and shaped humanity for thousands of years. So if we, as a society, start to rely on AI for meaning, for our morals, for our purpose, and we collectively put our faith in it, does our belief itself actually make it something more than just a machine?